I'll just scooch my chair over so it can all be seen.
Oh wait.
Just
right.
keep yours where it is, but point it in.
Point it in.
Yeah, so we're both.
Alright. And
Alright, so we're doing, this is what, intermediate lures?
Intermediate it is.
Alright, I'll start out. So basically, what you're going to want to fish at the bottom intermediate, we're doing. Alright, now that you're done drinking. So the first video we did, what, Texas Rig Senko? And now we're going to do a little bit more, like, a little bit more what?
Attractive. It's a lure that's a little bit more attractive to the fish.
A little bit more difficult to work too, I would say.
It's more easy to get tangled in weeds and stuff, so you got to be like a little bit more.
Gives off a lot more action with these little tails. Anyways, this is a Rage Tail by Strike King. It's basically you just want to Texas rig it, just like the same how you did the Senko. So you want to push the head all the way up to the top, and then push the hook straight through like that. And then there, it's Texas rig, and you'll want the green pumpkin tungsten weight on there. So it just floats straight to the bottom, and it'll give a nice action. It's just kind of like this, bouncing on the bottom.
Alright, and another for our top water selection of this video, we did the frog. The frogs come in all different shapes and sizes, colors. There's just a bunch of stuff for frogs, because frogs are such an amazing pond water, top water lure, you know. And there are some popping frogs like this. They have the what is it called, like spoon?
Cup lip, whatever.
Cup lip, whatever, in here. But like, there's literally like, hang on one second. There's like, oh, I think I broke the chair. There is. Oh, this is funny. So you got these frogs, you know. You got little baby frogs. You got little baby frogs that aren't without the little legs. You know, there's just a bunch of different frogs, you know. See, there's even a bumblebee frog. Like, it's a mix between a bumblebee and a frog. Alright, you know, yeah, so this is a frog. It's pretty simple to work. All you gotta do is like...
When do you want to fish it, Brayden?
When do you want to fish it? I would say you'd want to fish it in the early morning, sunset, sunrise, around then. And, you know, you just want to, basically, you want to match the frogs to, like, the frogs you see at the pond. So, like, if you see, like, really dark frogs, you'd want to use, like, something with dark like this. And if you saw, like, really light-colored frogs, you'd want to, like, use, like, yellow like this, basically. So,
I mean, it really just matters about the color of the belly and the skirt, because the bass are never going to see the top. Like, it's...
Are you hating on me?
This. No, I'm just saying, like, it doesn't matter. Like,
no, okay, so here's a good example. So, like, if the frogs are dark, you'd want to use this one.
Yeah.
And if they're light, you'd want to use this one.
Yeah, so you want to base it off the frogs, and then at the same time, kind of, if the water's really dark, you don't want to throw one with a white body, because they're not going to be able to see it. But, I mean, clear water, you can basically fish any color you want.
So, yep, that's it for the colorful frogs.
Alright, and then, so, I know in the first video, the beginner one, we had a square bill crankbait. This right here is a lipless crankbait.
Should we show them another example or no?
I think it's fine. They're also called, like, rattle traps, too. See how this one has rattles? But, the cool thing about these compared to a square bill is, like, see this square bill? So basically, this little clear lip right here controls the depth. So this is about a, what, 3 to 6 foot diving. This you can basically, like, you can, like, if you reel faster, it's going to go, like, deeper. And if you don't reel as fast, there's two different types. So there's floating and there's sinking. So you can get a sinking where if you just, like, you're not reeling at all, it's going to sink to the bottom. And then when you reel, you can adjust, like, basically on the speed of how fast you're reeling, like where it'll be in the water. And then with the floating, it's just going to be the same. If you don't reel, it's going to float up. And then as you reel, it's going to go down to the depth you want. And these are kind of cooler because a lot of weeds and grass can get stuck on the lips here. So these ones without lips, you can really kind of rip through grass. And a lot of times I like to throw this like right up against a grass line, right on the outside, and just rip it through that grass, and bass will come out of the grass and eat it.
Trying to get the Texas rig.
Yeah, so I mean they come in all shapes, sizes, colors, everything. Brands. They got different colored eyeballs. I mean, it's personally one of my favorite lures because you can just fish it really fast and fish an entire pond in probably 10 minutes.
Cover a lot of ground.
Yeah, you can cover a lot of water very quickly. So yeah, that's.
There's ground under the water.
Yeah,
So
but there's
cover
water
water.
on top of the ground.
Oh, I give up. Action.
Alright, so this is a lipless crankbait, or some call it a rattle trap, but it's basically the same thing. And this one is by Live Target, that's why it's so realistic, like it basically looks real. And basically how you want to fish this is just like a square bill crankbait, you cast it out there. But a cool thing with this one is you can control more because it doesn't have a lip. You can control like where you want to fish in the water. So if you want to fish it shallow, you just reel faster. If you want to let it sink, then you reel slower. And I mean, it's really simple. See, it just kind of makes this back and forth motion in the water.
Just like the square bill crankbait.
Just like the square bill crankbait. Another cool thing about these is there's not much grass in this pond, but if there was grass, because there's no bill, you can kind of just rip it through grass like this and just pull on it, and it'll kind of just slice straight through the grass. So I mean, I like to cast it like, I would say if this is deeper, you cast it right on the edge of this and just pull it on the side, and you can just rip straight through that grass. So that's the lipless crankbait.
This is a Texas rig. We explained how to rig it, just like the Senko, any soft plastic, rig the same. And this is a Strike King one. This one, same. Rage tail. Same as anywhere, except this one has a little bit more action, so you can fish it in like more cover, stuff like that. And same as every other bottom lure, cast it out. You just let it sit. Except this one, it has more action on the fall, so you basically want to have bigger pops and twitches, so it gets higher up. And when it sinks, it creates more movement and it's more attractive. So for this one, you just want to twitch it, except I'd say give it about the same or a little bit bigger twitches just to get it higher in the water column. And you can also drag it, and look, you can see the pull, it grabs onto stuff, and when you feel it like resisting, you just want to give it a pop over and just let it sink. And that creates a lot of movement on the way down, and the bass like it. So all you want to do is you want to drag it. You can drag it, or you can twitch it and pop it. Just mix it up. Doesn't have to be in a certain order, but that's it for the Texas rig right there.
Alright, so this is a frog, a hollow body frog, so you can pinch it. And basically, you want to fish this in, it's a top water, so morning, evening. You want to cast it out, typically around cover or any structure. This specific frog is a popping frog, so you can fish it kind of like the popper in the beginning video. You just twitch it like this and let it sit. Twitch it like this and let it sit. But what frogs, like normal frogs that don't have poppers, are normally for twitching, which you kind of just jerk the rod tip slightly. Hang on, let me fix this. You want to jerk the rod tip slightly like that, and I mean, you're probably not going to be able to see the twitch in the water, but it basically twitches back and forth. And I mean, that's really about it. Just the cool thing that kind of separates frogs from other topwaters is that the hooks are covered with the body like this, so you're really not going to lose it. Like, it's very hard to lose these compared to poppers where they have the big treble hooks, which can get caught in a lot of stuff. And just some other cool things about it is there's so many different types of frogs. Like here, this one is more realistic. It has real feet, where this one just has skirted feet, and this one swims more, like it paddles on top of the water, where this one's just a popping frog. And so yeah, that's the topwater frog.